You also had two, not including Travis Hunter, who's a unicorn. I don't even call him a wide receiver. You have two pure wide receivers going in the first, which I think reflects the opinion within the league for a while now, which is that this is just not, in terms of the top-end talent, on par with recent classes here. When you look at Tet McMillan in particular, and the pre-draft process has not been ideal for him, is the tape good enough that someone's going to kind of do like what the Falcons did with Drake London a couple years ago, which is, he didn't run a 40, and everybody says he's slow. We don't care. Tape's good. We're taking him.
Tet McMillan's one of the toughest evaluations in this class because you'd have to be blind not to see the 6'4" and the 219 pounds and the length. And any slapstick could sit there and watch the highlights and see, the acrobatic catches are phenomenal. I know what he can be in that regard. And that's a pretty good thing. A guy where you can throw the ball up, contested catches. He's also really good after the catch. Drake took a year to become the guy that he was this past season in Atlanta, to become 1,000+ receiving yards receiver in the NFL. Drake had a little more dog in him, though. And I get almost a little offended in Drake's camp because I saw in Drake a player who was working his tail off to do everything right, attention to detail, was not a great route runner coming out, had a lot still to learn, former basketball background, all of that. Tet has a lot of the same special traits, okay? But it's hard to unsee some of the tape, and you go back to 2023, and you can excuse some of it away, but not finishing routes, not like the lack of attention to detail as a route runner. I just didn't see that same level of dog in him, if you will. And so I'm not as high on him as some people, but I still recognize the talent. I still think I would still draft him later in the first round, but I think he could go as high as 12, where I mocked him in this recent 3.0 to Dallas, because he, like, the complement opposite CeeDee Lamb and the opportunities for one-on-ones against some smaller defensive backs and Dak being able to just put the ball up. I see that. I can envision the success there. But then I watch Matthew Golden, and I watch his attention to detail and the route running and the 4.29 speed and the fact that they needed someone to step up a receiver coming from Houston, and he did that in the big games and the big moments and the ability to adjust to the football. I just like Matthew Golden a lot, and Emeka Egbuka is going to be a really good slot. The more you watch of him, the more you understand his kind of subtle brilliance, if you will. I think those are the three guys you could hear their names called. I would take Golden over Tet McMillan, but I think McMillan is probably right now, like if you go to FanDuel or wherever, I'm sure the odds are higher for McMillan to come off the board than they are for Golden to be the first true receiver, as you said, in this year's draft.
So you got the new mock draft that is out, mock draft 3.0. I don't know what the paywall rules are and whatnot. So can you tell people how to find all your draft content here going into this draft?
I appreciate that, Tom. I don't like plugging my own stuff, but just Google it. It's the McShay Report, okay?
There you go.
You can subscribe. You can be a free subscriber. The mock drafts go behind the paywall. We're on, YouTube, Spotify. This week, I just gave out the whole thing on our show. It's, it was too much to share. We had 4 quarterbacks in the first round, 2 trades moving up to get these guys. And I haven't felt this good about a mock draft in a while, which means it's probably you could rip it up after 3 picks. But it was like a 3-day process of a lot of calls and putting pieces together. And just every once in a while, it feels like we're heading in the right direction. So we'll see. I'll screw it up by mock 4.0 the night before the draft.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.